Okay, so the next little exercise, we're going to build this table. And I would consider this a medium complexity of geometry here. And some of the features you can leave off if you don't like. You can bevel the tabletop if you want. You don't have to. You can pinch in the table legs if you want. You don't have to. But after you get started, there are lots of different directions you can go. So I'm going to start a new canvas. And I'm going to be measuring some components in here. Grab a rectangle tool. I'm going to click and I'm going to draw a box that's 4 feet. So that's 4 apostrophe, comma, 4 apostrophe inner. And then I'll get rid of our gentleman here. And then I'm going to grab this tabletop, click and drag up. And I'm going to make that 4 inches, 4 quotation mark, enter. Okay, and I can push it down a little bit more later, but that's what we're going to start with. And what I want to do is I want to group this. I'm going to select it all, right click and make it a group. And the reason why I'm making it a group is because I'm not going to be copying or managing or editing anything on it. I'm going to close that group. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to come down from the inside. And what I want to do is I want to offset by so much. So I'm going to double click and open that group and grab my offset tool. I'm going to click and find that offset. And I want to offset it by, say, 4 inches, 4 quotation mark, enter. And then I'm going to grab my I'm going to offset that again. Let's select that. And I'm going to offset that by dragging inwards like that. I'll set that to 2 inches offset. Okay. And this is the skirt. I'm going to grab that and pull that down like so. And let's see, we don't need it quite that elaborate. Let's grab it. Let's push that in, something like that. So that's your skirt for your table. And I'm going to click away. Now I want to rotate so I'm looking inside like so. And I'm going to draw this on the outside of that shape. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to click in the right-hand corner, drag diagonally. And I'm going to make this, let's make it 3 by 3 inches. So 3 quotation mark, comma, by 3 quotation mark, enter. And then I'm going to select it, double click and select both the face and the edges, right click, make that a component. I'm going to call this table leg. Click OK, click create. Then I'm going to copy it, select it, it's already selected, grab my move tool, hold down the control key, click and drag it to the corner of each one of the table legs. If you have to rotate to get it to the right view, make sure that it's snapping inside of the table leg. Sometimes it'll go off at weird angles, so you gotta have to pay attention to that. Gotta make sure you're seeing it correctly. So make sure that it's snapping to the inside of the table leg like that. It looks pretty good. Then I'm going to double click and open one, grab my push-pull tool, and pull that down. And then you can decide how long you want your table to be by just dragging those table legs down. You want it to be like a bistro type table or a table you'd sit, with chairs on, whatever you like. I'm trying to grab that little part at the bottom. There we go. And so now I'm going to zoom in on that, and I'm going to trap select just the architecture at the very bottom. I'm going to grab my scale tool, and I'm going to scale inwards a little bit this way and scale inwards a little bit this way and try and keep it even, scaling evenly on all sides, something like that. Maybe scale a little bit more. And then I'll just select and double click. And now the legs are tapered. Now I'm going to come up and I'm going to do the tabletop. So I'm going to double click and open up that tabletop. I'm going to push it down quite a bit more. And then I'm going to select with the selection tool those faces. I'm sorry, those edges. Oops, I just want the edges here. Let's make sure that edge is selected, right? Then I'm going to grab my what's that tool called? Your scale tool, and just scale it a little bit inwards by all sides. And just make sure it's even on all sides, something like that. Then click away. And now I've got a little bevel on the top there. I've got my tapered legs, and then I can paint my table. Double click to paint all the elements at the same time. And that's a nice looking table. Looks like a real table somebody might have in their home. All right, let's stop here.